Memorial Day weekend, a time to remember the fallen, and also a time for recreation. We'll fill you in on the ceremonies and the travel situation next. Early voting got underway yesterday, what you need to know before you cast your ballot. Plus, it's the official flower of Boulder City. We have a closer look at hollyhocks in full bloom.
Now, this is 8 News Now Weekend Edition. Live, local, now.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us on 8 News Now Weekend Edition. I'm Joshua Peguero. It's the Memorial Day holiday weekend, a busy time of the year in Las Vegas. Let's send it over to 8 News Now meteorologist Mary Jane Belieza with a first look at your weather.
We are looking at a quiet and warm one for Memorial Day. Lighter breezes right now with stronger breezes later on picking up for your Tuesday. Warmer than normal with these temps really peaking into those upper 90s all the way through for your work week. So right now we're not too far off when it comes to your average high, only about a degree or two away here, and still looking at your overnight lows to kind of settle in right on track before we really start to pick up almost near triple digits by your work week. So here's what to expect for those of you who have outdoor plans. 97 by the time we roll through for Memorial Day, 99 by Tuesday, which means some valley areas could definitely see triple digits by then.
Thank you, Mary. This morning, Nevada State Police currently investigating a fatal crash at 215 eastbound in Jones. 215 eastbound at Rainbow and the Rainbow on-ramp are closed. You're looking live at the 215, and you can see traffic barely moving. Drivers are advised to avoid the area. According to NSP, 2 cars collided around 4 this morning. 3 people were injured. 1 woman died at the hospital, and 2 others have life-threatening injuries. We will bring you more information on this as it becomes available. Throughout the valley and across the nation, those who've made the ultimate sacrifice are being remembered this weekend. Palm Mortuaries and Cemeteries hosted its 3rd annual Memorial Day Veterans Resource Fair yesterday. The event provides information for vets and their families. Local Boy and Girl Scouts were also there, placing flags near headstones. There will be more ceremonies at Palm Eastern in downtown tomorrow. We have all of the information on our News Links tab on 8 News on our website, 8newsnow.com. The city of Henderson held a special Memorial Day remembrance event yesterday. More than 400 American flags are now on display at Cornerstone Park in honor of those who lost their lives fighting for our country. Henderson will also host a ceremony at the park on Monday at 9 a.m. This weekend is a time for remembrance, but millions of Americans will also be traveling with record surges in the nation's airports and on the highways. But severe weather is also causing major issues in critical transportation hubs. Bradley Blackburn has the details.
Severe storms hit the nation's heartland Saturday. In Kansas, homes obliterated, trees snapped like twigs. In Texas, apparent twisters touched down with dangerous storms hitting near Dallas-Fort Worth overnight. On I-35, semi-trucks blown off the highway. In Denton, fire officials reported major damage, with some victims trapped in the debris. At the key Dallas-Fort Worth airport, hundreds of flights were delayed and dozens canceled. The FAA is working round the clock this weekend monitoring the storms, with record numbers of Americans traveling for Memorial Day. The TSA reports that Friday alone, more than 2.9 million people passed through security checkpoints, the highest number ever recorded. All weekend, passengers have been feeling the crush.
It's chaotic here. It's absolute chaos.
On the roads, more than 44 million are driving for holiday getaways, flirting with a 20-year record. Everywhere, the rush is on to crowd the beach and kick off the unofficial start of summer. The travel wave is just beginning. U.S. airlines say they'll fly 271 million passengers this summer, up more than 6% from last year. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
And taking a live look at Harry Reid International Airport, it will be a busy few days here at home. At last check, things aren't too bad, only 2 cancellations, but now 35 delays. As always, be sure to check with your airline before heading to the airport just to make sure. In news from overseas this morning, Hamas fired a barrage of rockets from Gaza, setting off air raid sirens as far away as Tel Aviv for the first time in months. The Israeli military said 8 projectiles crossed into Israel after being launched from the area of the southern Gaza city of Rafah. Israeli forces recently launched an incursion there. Hamas's military wing has claimed responsibility for the attack. There are no immediate reports of deaths or damage. 8 News Now is your local election headquarters. Early voting for the primary election is now underway. Voting began yesterday, and it's a closed primary, meaning only Democrat or Republican voters can vote in partisan contests. But there are still a number of nonpartisan items on the ballot. Early voting runs through June 7th, and the primary is on June 11th. 8 News Now stopped by a polling site in Henderson.
I have voted in every election since I was able to vote. I don't skip any of them. It's extremely important for us to express our voices, to express our wishes.
In Las Vegas, voters will decide on the next mayor. If no candidate gets over 50%, a runoff election with the top 2 candidates will take place in November. Scattered across Boulder City, you may see pinks, reds, whites, and even a black or yellow if you're lucky. Hollyhocks are in full bloom, and as 8 News Now's Heather Mills explains, they're not just pretty to look at. They're the official flower of Boulder City with quite a story to tell.
It's a beautiful flower. It normally grows around 4 to 6 feet.
The hollyhock, not native to southern Nevada, but for nearly a century, part of the roots of Boulder City.
Blooms from late April all the way through the summer, and you can even get fall color too.
Cheryl Waits is known as the Hollyhock Lady.
We love our history here.
And here at the Boulder City Hoover Dam Museum, the hollyhock takes center stage to help tell the city's history along with pictures and sometimes
Oh, hello there. I didn't see y'all come in.
theatrics.
My name's Grandma Pickett. I'm from Arkansas. And I have to tell you, living out here has been one big challenge.
Grandma Pickett is credited with planting and growing the hollyhocks back in 1931. Beauty in the desert, as many came to southern Nevada to build the Hoover Dam and find a new way of life.
When they were coming west, they were escaping from the Great Depression as well as the Great Dust Bowl. Grandma Pickett brought the 2 things that she loved the most was her garden and the kitchen.
But it's the living history that continues to evolve, much like the flower itself.
It has just adapted its way right along as it goes. Each generation that it picks up a little more of that ferocity that it takes to live here and bring some beauty to the Mojave.
Finding its way across the community 5 generations later with heirloom seeds that started it all.
It's a wonderful tie to our history.
A colorful past and a bright future as the next generation blossoms into hollyhock enthusiasts.
Hold your hand out and I'm going to give you so many seeds that you can start a hollyhock forest.
Here at Little Lamb's Childcare, the kids eagerly take part as Waits plants enthusiasm for gardening.
And I want you to make about 5 little dents in the top of the soil.
And sows the seeds of the future.
You see the seeds? You're going to sprinkle the seeds.
Cultivating a semblance of what was with anyone willing to learn.
When we say we're Boulder City grown, it's not just the plants and flowers that we're talking about.
Heather Mills.
In the month of May, we think about hollyhocks, right?
Yeah.
8 News Now.
Road work never seems to go away. Soon, it will be ramping up on the east side. After the break, we take a look at the plans to improve the area. You're watching 8 News Now, Weekend Edition. We are live, local, now. Or road work coming to the valley. The city of Las Vegas is meeting this week to talk about a new project that will improve the east side area. The focus is on Stewart Avenue from 6th Street to Nellis Boulevard. Proposed plans are to build wider sidewalks, upgrade the landscaping, and add more street lights. Locals say better lighting is desperately needed.
It's about time. We have a lot of problems with the people walking from this side of Stewart coming to our store, how dark it is, and so lighting would be a good thing for us.
The meeting is at 5:30 p.m. on Wednesday at the East Las Vegas Community Center. Mary Jane?
We are looking at a warming trend, what to expect for this 3-day holiday weekend.
You're watching the Valley's most accurate forecast on 8 News Now.
Plenty of sunshine here for your Sunday. We're really kicking off this weekend with more warmer temperatures on the way. Sunny skies as well. Light winds coming in from the east-southeast at about 5 to 9 miles an hour. And also that does mean today through tomorrow your UV index is at a 9. That is very high, especially with that heat peaking anywhere from about 10 a.m. to about 4 p.m. So if you have plans outdoors, make sure you're taking precaution and drinking plenty of water because it is still a dry one out there. Mainly what we're seeing on your futurecast is really clear conditions. We had a line of showers over the past 24 hours with that convection already moving off into central Utah. That's really allowing us to clear and make way for a ridge of high pressure. That's going to take hold and take charge, allowing for plenty of warmth all the way these next couple of days, which is really pumping up our temperatures into those upper 90s. So if you're looking to beat the heat and getting out of that heat, 65 degrees out at Mount Charleston, that's probably your best bet if you're looking for some cooler weather out there. Sunny and nice with 86 degrees out at Red Rock, so a little bit cooler as well. A northeast wind still coming in for the afternoon at 5 to 10 miles an hour, but it's still a hot one out at Lake Mead. If you're jumping into that water, 92 degrees and calm winds out there, so quite nice as well for those of you who are looking to boat. South winds coming in at 3 to 5 miles an hour too, but make sure that you have your life vest with you as well as lathering on that sunscreen because it is still warm out there. As far as what we're seeing with highs all the way through the rest of today for most valley spots, spots. We're still looking at some low 90s out there. 93 for the Strip, Green Valley, North Las Vegas, and North Nellis as well. Still some cooler spots, however, for your regional neighbors. Some 80s out in Rachel. That does include Indian Springs, Searchlight, Boulder City already at 90, 96 for Laughlin, triple digits out in Death Valley with that 102. So here's a look at your 8-day forecast. As far as what we're expecting with those hotter days on the way, it looks to be Tuesday and Wednesday, the hottest days of this week, which might mean some triple digits for some valley locations. Overnight lows also on the warmer side as well with those low 70s, and those 90s seem to hold all the way through next weekend. Plenty of sunshine as well.
All right, thank you, Mary Jane. Up next in sports, Saturday, it was Caitlin Clark versus the world champs, that is. The #1 draft pick and her team continued their slow start as they took on the Aces. Details coming up after the break.
In front of 10,399 fans, the Las Vegas Aces hosted Caitlin Clark, and the Indiana Fever. It was Clark's first time here in Las Vegas, and she was looking to leave with a win. But the back-to-back champions, I mean, they're champions for a reason. Caitlin Clark was coming off a double-double against the LA Sparks last night. In this one, though, it would take her 4 minutes to end some change to get her first bucket, and of course, it was a three-pointer. She would end the night, though, with only 8 points and 7 assists. Her former college teammate, Kate Martin, she had a much better game as the rookie continues to slowly become a fan favorite. She ended her night with 12 points and 7 rebounds, only missing 2 of her shots in front of her former college coaches as well. And well, she gets to talk a little smack to her college bestie, Caitlin Clark. The rookie spoke on playing against her in this one.
Well, 4 years you played with Caitlin. Now, what was it like to play against her?
It was weird, I'm not gonna lie. Just looking out on the court and, seeing her, in a different jersey than me, it was obviously different, but, it's really fun. We're both living out our dream right now, and we both get to compete at the highest level. So, we're both really grateful for that opportunity.
And speaking of having a good game, it was just another day in the office for Asia Wilson. She ended last night's game 1 point away from a 30-piece, adding 15 rebounds to that. That was her 80th double-double in her career. But most importantly, this was her 4th game in a row with at least 20 points and 10 rebounds, tying a league record. She will look to break that in 3 days against the Minnesota Lynx. Let's go to the JUCO World Series. The College of Southern Nevada taking on Northwest Florida to open up the tournament. The Coyotes had the lead in the 9th until the Raiders tied it up at 6 apiece. But that wouldn't matter, though, because with 2 outs and 2 strikes, Southern Nevada's designated hitter, Timon Long, would send this one out of the ballpark to give his team the lead in the 10th inning. Southern Nevada ends up winning this one, and they advance. Here's Coach Garitano after the big win.
This is CSM baseball. We play in these games probably 30 times this year. This is a big stage, man. You know, I mean, we're talking about 18 to 20-year-old kids that we can't expect perfection from them, and if anybody does have that, God bless them. But I thought we showed a lot of resolve and a lot of fight, and this was a hell of a win against a really, really good team.
And lastly, a big day coming up for NASCAR fans as the Indy 500 is later on today. A lot of different storylines to follow, like Kyle Larson, who is looking to make history by racing twice. Adam Unger is there with more.
The greatest spectacle in racing is right around the corner, and the 108th running certainly shaping up to be a great one. So many storylines to keep an eye on in this year's race, none greater than Kyle Larson. The NASCAR star is looking to be the 6th driver to do the double and only the 2nd to complete all 1,100 miles. But the McLaren Hendrick driver isn't forgetting the Coca-Cola 600 down in Charlotte either. So finishing his day here at IMS is going to require some cooperation from Mother Nature.
Honestly, at this point, just hoping the weather, cooperates to get all 1,100 miles in. But yeah, I mean, it's been something I've looked forward to for close to 2 years, probably at this point now. So yeah, it's just getting closer to go time, and just really have enjoyed the experience and enjoyed working with Aaron McLaren, and they've made the transition to Indy cars for a couple weeks pretty easy. So yeah, just had a good time, and now look forward to the race.
All 4 McLaren drivers have a great shot at winning this year's race, and another thing we're keeping an eye on along with the forecast is a full front row of Penske drivers. Certainly going to be a great one for the 108th running. Reporting at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, I'm Adam Unger.
Appreciate that, Adam, and that's a look at sports. Gilberto Oregon, 8 Sports Now.
For all of those heading out this morning, we want to give you one final look at the backup on the 215 eastbound and Rainbow due to a fatal crash early this morning near 215 and Jones. NSP is advising drivers to stay away from the area. That's all the time we have for 8 News Now this morning. Remember, you can keep up with breaking news by visiting our website, 8newsnow.com. Have a great Sunday.